strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Hey there, Splinterlands fans! Peakmonsters has just come out with a brand new feature that I feel like is pretty game-changing and was worthy of me making a video to go over what they've got here, how to use it, and how I think this is going to make some players' lives a little bit easier. So if we come to the homepage of Peakmonsters here, we can see up at the top, there is now a My Decks section. If you click on My Decks, it's going to take you to these decks here where players can create pre-built decks. They can be private, or you can share them with other players. And there are a couple different ways to utilize these that I think can be pretty big. So there's two different types of decks. You can see filters over here on the side where it says only pro. That's going to sort by deck creators that Peakmonsters has actually kind of curated. For example, they've assigned me as a pro deck creator, so I would show up on that list. I'll show you some of my decks here in a second. And there are two types of decks. There's lineups, which is the individual battle lineups that are used in a battle, and there's thematic, which can be your entire deck of potentially hundreds of cards or however many you want to put in there. So there's different ways to sort. I'm going to come over here to Buy Me, because this is where you would go to kind of create your own. You can kind of see some of my decks. I can actually link my my collection of decks down below if you want to go take a look at these. But what I've actually done here, so I've got this Death Starter deck here, and when you click on this, what is really nice is it actually allows you to come quickly buy all of these cards if you want to buy them, or quickly rent all of these cards if you wanted to rent out the deck. It actually shows you over here in the green where I can see that, okay, this is my main account. I own all of these cards. If any of them were missing, they would not be green. So you could quickly see which cards you actually need. And I think this is going to be pretty useful. So the way I've initially set this up is, some of you may remember a few months back, I did a series of videos on recommended decks. And I was given like a budget, and it was okay. With about a $30-$35 budget, go build a deck for a new player for each element. Kind of make it like, okay, if you get started with a kind of physical copy, typical trading card game, a lot of times, I mean, you can get started buying packs just like in Splinterlands, but a lot of times you go out and you buy preset decks that you can just buy and immediately play with. And that's kind of what I was creating here for new players getting into the game, maybe not sure what they even want. They're overwhelmed by hundreds of cards. What should you go out and either buy or rent to get started? I put together some of those videos, and that was nice. But this here, where I can now link them, so you can come over here and you can click on that. It's going to copy a link. I can now send players straight to these decks, so then they can come in here and buy or rent those. So I've kind of uploaded these decks. I've made a few changes from the videos based on Rift Watchers, but for the most part, they're pretty much the same. But now I can just link a player to these decks, and anybody can go in and rent them, buy them, or just kind of glance at them and see what you're missing. Okay, well, Bulldog recommended this for his deck. I see, oh, there's these 3 cards that I'm missing, or I don't necessarily have the right level for. And I think that's going to be really cool, and I'm going to use that with new players quite a bit. For some of you out there, maybe more experience in the game, particularly you renters, this is actually, I believe, going to enhance the rental experience. Because right now, Peakmonsters is great for rentals. You can come over here, so this is the rental page, same as it's kind of always been. You can come in and set bids, and bid on whatever level card you want, set your max bid, and Peakmonsters will automatically rent cards and keep your deck up to date based on that max price that you set. But there's a couple things that are kind of lacking that these decks can actually help with. So first off, again, you can go, if you set them in your deck, and I'm going to show you how to build a deck yourself. You can build decks, you can make them private. You don't have to necessarily share them with everybody. You go in, you can build a deck. Again, you can quickly scroll through here and see which cards you're missing. You might have bids set, but maybe there were a few cards that just didn't get picked up because the price never dropped down low enough. We can come here and, okay, I'm starting my battles for the day. Let's go here and I've set all the cards that I want in my deck, so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to quickly see which ones are red, which ones I'm missing. and then you can look at the rental price, and I normally have a bid set at 20 DEC for this card. Looks like it's 25 DEC. It's a little more than my set price, so that's why Peakmonsters didn't pick it up. But you know what? I'm getting ready to start my battles for the day for just this day, or I guess rentals are 2 days minimum. For just this time period, I want to go ahead and go rent that. You can easily click and see what you're missing and decide if you want to go ahead and pick that up. Or we've got a lot of people that just rent for a few days, whether you don't play every day or maybe for guild brawls, for example, right? We've got a lot of people that pick up extra rentals for guild brawls. You can go through and set those in your deck, and then you can go through and just easily click through a bunch of these cards and rent them. It'd be nice if this is just kind of their MVP version. It'd be nice if they had a rent all button and you can go through and click. I'm getting some errors here because I've been on this screen for several minutes here, so some of the prices have changed. So maybe not the best showing there, but it can make it a lot easier to rent if bids, because bids wouldn't be great for you if you're renting for brawls, right? Because you don't want them picked up every single day. You only want them picked up the 2 days for the guild brawls. So that can make picking those up a lot easier. So if you want to create a deck, it's very, very easy. You just come in here to build. You can, if you want to create a lineup, you can actually import it and then put the battle ID in, like the link to the battle, and it'll automatically pull up that lineup for you. So you don't even have to put it in manually at all. But you can come up here to the build option in the top right. Again, this is back on, so under my decks, go to the buy me section. It'll have a build option up there, and you can come in and you can decide, okay, do I want it to be public or private? Do I want it to be a battle lineup or thematic to be able to pick up a whole deck? And then you can come down here and you can sort by sets, you can sort by editions. Remember, we got the new sets here, so like Chaos will show the Chaos and Rift Watchers and all the Chaos reward cards, those types of things. You can sort by set, edition, and then you can also set the level as well. So when I click on a card here, let's just put a couple cards in here. These are random clicks, and I can go through and I can say, okay, I want this card to be level 3. I want this card to be level 2, whatever the case is. And over here on the right, it'll actually show you, like if you want to make them, okay, I want them all to be max for silver level. If you click silver here, every time you click on a card, it's going to set it up there at the max for that league. To make that a little easier. But maybe it's like, okay, I'm playing in silver level, but I don't really, well, that's not one you would rent, but okay, I don't really want this card at level 2 because it's too expensive, so I'm going to be cheap. I want it at level 1. You can customize that, and then when you go back to your deck, it will, when you have the option to buy or rent those, it's going to rent that level for you. You can put in whatever you want. You can like, we can customize it. So we'll just say this is a test deck. Obviously this is not really a deck you would want to rent, but just to show it, you can hit confirm and it'll go in here. And if you go buy me, it's down here. We've got the test deck down here, and then you can delete it. You can edit it however you want to do it. So I'm going to go in and delete that one because obviously it's not anything there, but it's that simple to go create a deck. And then you can use that feature. And I'm interested to see if other places build off of this. Like even if other third parties build off of this. Is Nifty Arcade going to allow people to, like, that would be really cool for Nifty Arcade. One of the like most difficult things for them and getting people to go put up decks to rent out is you have to go in and build those decks, right? But wouldn't it be cool if you could just, okay, I'm gonna click the link for my Peakmonsters deck, and then I'm going to upload that, and I'm gonna put that in Nifty Arcade, and then it will automatically build that deck for me, or something like that, or whatever the case is. And I can go copy somebody else's deck that I want to put in there. There's so many cool other cool interactions that can build off of this. So I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. But even in this kind of first edition of it, the MVP edition, is this Splinterlands likes to use MVP. That's minimum viable product. So they kind of put out the minimum necessary for everything to function as a first edition. So I'm curious to see where this goes and how Peakmonsters adds more features to it, how third parties add on to it. But anyways, I was just excited about this feature. I think it's something that's going to be nice. I really wish I had this when I was community manager and was interacting with new players on a daily basis. I mean, I still interact with a lot of players trying to get in the game and that type of stuff. I certainly get questions on my videos and things like that, so I'll still use it some. But man, this would have saved me a lot of time when I was helping out new players. And when it's, well, okay, what do you buy? Just here's a link. Here's a link to Peakmonsters. Go rent that. That's a good place to start. Have at it, and then you can go and make adjustments from there. So anyways, I thought this was awesome, so I thought it was video worthy. Let me know what you guys think. How are you going to use this? Are you going to use it all? Does this change how you rent? Does this change does it change anything about the game for you? So let me know in the comments down below, as always, or come to my Discord, talk to me on Twitter, wherever. I'm all over the place. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.